Today we are going to learn about the cell membranes or plasma membranes. Plasma membrane surrounds a cell. Other membranes inside the cell enclose some organelles and have properties similar to those of the plasma membrane. The most popular structure defined for the cell membranes is known as the fluid mosaic model. It was presented by Jonathan Singer and Garth Nicholson in 1972. According to this model, a membrane is a double layer or bilayer of proteins and phospholipids, and it is a fluid rather than a solid. The phospholipid bilayer forms the fluid C, in which specific proteins float like icebergs. Being fluid, the membrane is in constant state of flux, shifting and changing while retaining its uniform structure. The word mosaic refers to many kinds of proteins dispersed in the phospholipid bilayer. Following are the important points of fluid mosaic model. The basic structure of plasma membrane consists of phospholipid bilayer. It has one polar end and one non-polar end. The polar end are oriented on one side towards the outside of the cell and into the fluid cytoplasm on other side. And the non-polar ends face each other in the middle of the bilayer. The tails of both layers of phospholipid molecules attract each other and are repelled by water. It means that they are hydrophobic or water dreading. As a result, the polar spherical heads, the phosphate portion, are located over the cell surface, outer and air, and are water attracting or may be called as hydrophilic. Second feature of plasma membrane is presence of cholesterol. It is present in the plasma membrane and organelle membrane of eukaryotic cells. The cholesterol molecules are embedded in the interior of the membrane and help to make the membrane less permeable to water-soluble substances. In addition, the relatively rigid structure of cholesterol molecule helps stabilize the membrane. Third feature is the plasma proteins. The membrane proteins are individual molecules attached to inner and outer membrane surfaces that are peripheral proteins or are embedded inside it. They are called intrinsic proteins. Some intrinsic proteins are linked to sugar protein markers on the cell surface. Other intrinsic proteins help to move ions or molecules across the membrane, and still others attach the membrane to the cell's inner scaffoldings, the cytoskeleton, or to various molecules outside the cell. Fourth feature of plasma membrane is the presence of carbohydrates that unite with the proteins. When carbohydrates unite with proteins, they form glycoproteins, and when they unite with the lipids, they form glycolipids on the surface of plasma membrane. Surface carbohydrates and proteins of the portions of the protein and lipid make up the glycocalyx. This arrangement of distinctively shaped groups of sugar molecules of the glycocalyx act as a molecular fingerprints for each kind of cell type. The glycocalyx is necessary for cell-to-cell recognition and behavior of certain cells and is key component in coordinating cell behavior in animals.